Reading is a foundational activity for almost every academic endeavor, especially online courses. I sometimes think that there's almost too much reading required. I remember taking courses where when I got done, my claim to fame was that I read it all. Don't remember much, didn't learn much, but I read it all. That is not the goal here. We have 2 books. They are excellent, and the goal is to read, to reflect, and to apply. I want to go over these 2 books with you and introduce them, and then talk to you a little bit about how to respond in your written report. The first book is Diagnosing and Changing Organizational Culture. And this is a great book. I read it many, many, many years ago, and this is the updated version. In fact, for those of you that are interested, the same authors have come out with yet a piece that goes with it. And this is Competing Values Leadership that goes along with the book. And I just finished reading it. It just came out a little bit ago. Let me show you the pictures of these 2 guys. I always think it's helpful if you know who you're dealing with. That would be Cameron, and that would be Quinn. Quinn is the bald-headed fellow. Cameron is the one that's all smiles. They were both educated Brigham Young. They're real good, solid Mormons. They have strong ethics. They are involved in the Michigan school, the University of Michigan, and down at Case Western, which is down in Cleveland. Both excellent schools. I have one little claim to fame, and it's this. I took a little postgraduate work, postdoctoral work with Dr. Quinn in the material that he was teaching. It was an executive seminar, week-long, on leading profound change. And in that time, we looked at this particular piece of his along with some other things. He has a wonderful, wonderful tool for analyzing a culture, and that's why we're using this book. And you will learn how the tool works, how to administrate it. But here's the difference. At the end of our time together, I asked Dr. Quinn, told him that I work primarily with ministry groups, and that there are some other issues involved in culture. Could I have his permission to expand on his work so that it might be more applicable for ministry organizations? And he gave me his full blessing. So from this book, you will learn about the competing values framework. You will learn about their instrument that they have, and then you will use my expansion of that instrument, which is far more appropriate for a ministry organization. I think you will find this a great, great book. So that's the first one that we'll be reading. And here's the second book, and it is a classic. Edgar Sheen, Culture and Leadership. This is a tremendous book. I again read it many years ago in one of its earlier versions. This is the 2010 that we have. Here's his picture. I think it's always nice to know what these people sort of look like. He is professor the Sloan professor out at Stanford. It would be hard to name a Fortune 500 company that has not used him to come in and dabble and work with and deal with their culture. His system for looking at culture is far more complex than the other. It's almost intuitive, which is why I like it. Because as leaders, we have to develop that intuitiveness when it comes to reading and understanding culture. In fact, your second major assignment, your first being sharing this one from Quinn and Cameron and Quinn, you'll administer that. That'll be your first major assignment. Your second one comes out of this book, in which I have applied some of his pieces on how to look at culture, and you'll be doing that in a conversation. It's going to be something you'll enjoy. Now, this is a monster of a book, okay? Big time book. Here's what I want you to know. I will have a little video for you at the beginning of each week and help you work through the reading, telling you what are the parts that are most important, what part can you kind of skim over, and that sort of thing. If that is helpful to you, that video will be prepared for you. But those are our two books, and I know you're going to enjoy them. All right. The last thing I want to talk to you about on this tape is how to respond to the reading. How do you report it? Remember, we read, we reflect, we apply. You're going to answer 3 questions. Easy to remember. ICE. You got to ice it. You got to get it down cold, okay? I-C-E. First, insight. Insight. What's the most important insight that you take away from that particular portion of the reading, and how does that apply in your situation? Number 2, C, connect. I watched this one carefully. Can you connect the idea with other things you have read, with other ideas that you've come across, even books from other courses in this program or other programs? But make the connections. Don't just leave it sitting out there by itself. Tell me where it connects to other things you've read. And then E, I-C-E. E is the harder one, but it's the best I could come up with. Edify. To learn. What more would you like to learn about this idea and its application? What do you want to learn about this idea and its application? So those are the 3 things. What's the insight? What are the connections? What do you want to do to edify yourself? What more do you want to learn about this idea and its application? Those are the 3 things you'll report on. I know you're going to enjoy the reading, and I'm going to enjoy responding to you. Each week, you will post your reading report, and we'll have an opportunity to go back and forth on that. All right. Thanks.